Hi everybody, my name is Bartosz and today we're gonna speak with one of the best rappers in the world and also my friend, George.
Hello, guys.
Today we're gonna speak, of course, about TeckWrap, but also about our new brand, the Wrap Campus. But on the beginning, maybe we can start with your story. So tell me from the beginning how it's possible that you was born in Romania, you grew up in Spain, but you meet the industry, the wrapping industry in England, and there you start your journey.
Yes, my family, when I was a kid, my family moved from Romania to Spain. So I had to,
Yeah.
it wasn't a choice,
Yeah.
really. So I grew up, I lived most of my life in Spain. So there was, I've done the school, the high school, university. I remember when I was like 18, 19, I had a Toyota Celica. So, I wanted to make it a little bit special. So what is that, like 17 years ago? I didn't know nothing about wrapping. So I was just like, newbie, and I found some carbon fiber vinyl. I tried to wrap it myself.
Okay.
I had no knowledge about wrapping. I know it's like he has adhesive, you repeal the liner and stuff like that. So I started doing my own car. Really, I started doing the roof section and then half of the car, parts of the interior, and then I had friends asking about, can you wrap mine? Doing some parts, mirrors and stuff like that. So obviously, like maybe I was doing like probably really bad at the beginning, but we didn't had access to learn from somewhere. At that time, I remember in Spain was no school, no academy where you can go and teach you about wrapping. So it was very hard to start something new and don't know anyone where you can go and attend. So to explain you. I remember just a funny thing. I had one time I had an Alfa Romeo in the shop. It probably was one of the first cars to wrap fully. So I had no knowledge about how to cut the full side, get the rear fender, the door, the side skirt. So I went to the roll, I measured the door and I cut a piece for the door. Then I went to the roll, cut another piece for other door. And then probably I used like most of the roll and I was like probably done half of the car because I didn't know how to measure everything
How to schedule
do it.
the whole
Yes,
car.
of course. And I remember when I opened my wrap shop in Madrid, probably like 2009.
So how old you was?
I was 19, like 20, maybe
Okay.
like somewhere 20,
So really young
2009,
guy.
2010. Yeah, I was like really young and obviously I didn't have experience. So I was doing wrapping and some other stuff on the side. Even now is something new in Spain, like, wrapping. Not everybody knows about it because they don't have that many wrap shops across the country. So most of the people, they don't know about this. Imagine 15 years ago, it was like a taboo
course.
thing by then. So obviously things that not gone like very well. And I remember I closed the wrap shop after a year and a half or something like that.
Yeah, typical rapper.
Yeah. And then I moved to UK. I wanted to learn more about this industry. Probably that time in Europe was the leading country about wrapping because they were far ahead from any other country in Europe. They were wrapping like crazy. Like people know about it. It was like something very common.
So it has to be a shock for you, yeah? So coming from the sunny Spain to
Oh yeah.
rainy UK.
Oh yeah. I remember it was. I expected, to be honest, with when I first landed in UK, because it was like my first time. I never been before, and I expected to be better. I think I left somewhere in August. I think I went, and I remember like we had 40 degrees in Madrid, and then when I went in UK in August, we had to put the heater during the night because it was like 5-6 degrees. It's like, So yeah, it's different. Then I had to start learning how to drive right-hand drive cars. So yeah, but I started working in one of the biggest wrap shops in Birmingham, and I worked there, if I remember, like for 1 year. So obviously, coming from Spain, where I used to wrap like normal cars, then I started wrapping like Ferraris, Lambos, Aston Martin, stuff like that. So it was like a big jump. I remember when I had my first Ferrari, first Lamborghini. Hands. Yeah, exactly. So it's like I only saw them in photos.
Yeah.
And now it's like real life, and you need to wrap them and do color change. So probably it was good for experience because they're not easy cars to wrap. So they require a lot of patience and knowledge. It's just like maybe like 1 year I've been working there. And then I started freelancing because I wanted to learn little bit about all the industry. So I worked for the biggest companies in UK as a freelancer, and I was doing like vans, trucks, planes, helicopters, boats, everything moves. And it was good to have knowledge about how to wrap a train or like a truck, how you start and stuff like that. So it was very good to learn about this kind of stuff. And also we had always a deadline, so you cannot just try to work slowly.
Yeah.
You have to be fast and also effective, because if say like when you wrap whatever train, they will know which side who wrapped what. So if something fails, it'll be on you. So we have to be as well fast and also like very good.
And during these 17 years of your experience right now,
I probably say 15 because
15, yeah.
maybe I don't count the first two.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I never maybe put in consideration the first two because it was more like a play, you know, like a game.
Okay, so during these 15 years of your experience, like in what point we are right now? Like, as I know, you have some detailings, yeah?
Spain and Romania.
Spain and Romania, okay. And also like now you do mostly the freelancing for like yacht, yes? Yachting.
That's another company I own.
Another company, okay. So like you have now 3 companies.
Yes, so the luxury aqua wraps is just for yacht wrapping. That's my company, and then I do with some guys from the shops.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of the project, we take like 5, 6, 10 guys depending. That's on a next level, you know, because then you have like very long panels. Sometimes you know you need to wrap like a full size of a roll one side and put another one, and because the yachts we're doing, they're some more over 30 meters.
Yeah, but I think also you know that because most of the people that I know from Poland especially, I think it could be very inspirational for people from different countries, because most of the people think that wrapping the cars like Ferrari, Aston Martin or Lamborghini is like the end no. It's something more, yeah? You can do in like jets, or you can go to trains, or you can go yachts.
Yes. I wasn't in Spain at the time when Jonathan had this project. They've done like a private jet, I think Gulfstream. It's probably like 30 million euros.
Nice.
So they've done PPF on the interior and stuff like that. So it's like very expensive stuff. So also I've been with Jonathan in Monaco on a like, I think it was 85-meter long boat, like huge, to be honest, like massive.
It's huge.
So then it's like the cost of these yachts, like 100 millions.
Do you maybe remember which projects was like the most expensive that you maybe wrap or you collaborate with wrapping?
Yeah, it's just boats.
Boats?
Yes, definitely it's going to be boats, yeah.
Okay. So probably like 100 millions or something like this, yeah?
Yeah, it's expensive, of course. It's not about the material, it's all about the labor. Because you need to, obviously the boat we're doing in south of France.
Yeah.
So just to bring 10 guys and, you know, pay for accommodation, flights, food, you know, their salary every day, like for, depending on the project, you can have 2 weeks or 1 month. You imagine the costs are huge. I remember one time I was looking for accommodation for 10 people, for 12 people actually, around Monaco. And I will search on Booking, like a house with 6 or 7 rooms. And they showed me a number, I couldn't even read it. It was like 170,000 euros for a month of accommodation. I said, I don't want to buy it, I want to rent it. You know, like it was crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
Obviously, depending on the area where you are actually doing the project, is super expensive to stay there for a month. And that's why the costs are huge. Also costs from the owner side, because like for big boats, you cannot just put them in every port, like, you know, like the big ones, there are certain places where you can work on them.
So during this time, how it happened that you meet the TeckWrap?
So after when I was doing freelancing, I remember I used to wrap cars in a different brand in Chrome. So, you know, at the time I was thinking like, man, it's super expensive to pay that amount of money for a Chrome wrap, you know, and I was looking on internet for some other options. So then I came across TeckWrap vinyl. So funny, it was the first time I tried TeckWrap was Chrome.
So you start from the
top. From the top. So because I had already knowledge when I worked in that shop, in that garage, when I first told you about 1 year, they used to use a lot of calendar vinyl. So I got used to how to install it, how to do it, because it was totally different from cast vinyl. So I had the experience of it. And then I spoke with, I remember like, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago, with Shukrat, which is the chief of marketing from TeckWrap.
Yes.
I remember I spoke to him, I bought the Chrome from him, and I tested on my car. I was happy with the installation. Then, like time to time, I sent him photos of the job, and then he offered me, we offered me to take distribution in UK for TeckWrap, which I accepted, and then everything started from there.
And during this time, you also begin like the official trainer for TeckWrap International, yes?
Yes.
And also you are the person who tests the new projects.
Yes.
I mean the new products from TeckWrap. So now maybe tell me about this new project that we do together, about the Wrap Campus, how it's beginning and what is the idea of this project.
Okay, so this idea, I had it like with Charles and Maciej. I've been coming a lot to Poland and try to go to different places and teach people, and we try to make them understand like this vinyl is different from a cast vinyl. So we just want to show them the differences and stuff like that. People like the finish of TeckWrap, the colors are amazing, but they find it hard to install.
Yeah.
So that's why we have this Wrap Campus. So installers who maybe never used TeckWrap, or maybe they used it but they find it like super hard to install, so then they come to us and then we show them how they should install it, because it's not actually hard if you understand it. It's actually in a few things actually easier than cast vinyl. You just have to understand it. Once you understand the product, it will be easy to install and also give you confidence to do like great things with it. As you know, like my business partner from Spain, Jonathan, we've done many videos for TeckWrap on their YouTube page. Every time we tested the material, we pushed over the limits, and we always do it like this. So when we got a product from TeckWrap for testing, we're not doing like a safe way, so just to be sure it stays, or should I put a joint, a piece here, just relieve it? No, just stretch it, just to understand it.
Yeah, just found the boundaries. Yeah, like
yes, exactly.
Where's the limit of the material?
Exactly. It's like what we've done this week with the new color PPF.
Yeah.
One side I cut it longer, one side I cut it shorter, one side I stretch it in a different way from the other side. So it's about testing.
Yeah, you just play with this for you.
Yeah, exactly. You need to test it. It's like sometimes people say like this guy wants to show off, like he's doing this in one piece, but it's just for testing, because if it works for me, it should work for them. I don't have 4 hands, I still have to.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's all about knowledge. So if it works for me, then I'm confident. If a customer from Spain or from other countries calls me, George, can I do this piece in one? So I said, yes, it will definitely work, because I've done it, and you should work on him if he uses the right technique.
Yeah. Also, for example, you remember that we was in one of the biggest garages in Poland like a few weeks ago, and we did together like the whole ducktail from 911. That is very difficult part, and we do the whole ducktail in one piece.
That was French olive, I think.
French olive, yeah.
Super gloss vinyl. So yeah, it's a little bit too tricky. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's doable.
It's possible.
It's very possible. Yeah. So I remember the guy they were really impressed of the thing. So you can see like people were saying like all the time, oh, this is calendar vinyl, it doesn't stretch that much. That's like totally a lie. It's not true. You saw it because you were there and you saw how much you can stretch, and you saw like how much you can do with this vinyl if you understand it. If you don't understand it, of course it's not going to work.
After this time, do you believe that there is anything left that you can still learn from this industry?
Yeah, of course. See, this week we just tested first time color PPF dry application. So yeah, it's like starting and learning a new product, which I never worked before, because I know they will launch it during SEMA next week. So we had the chance to test it beforehand and give them an opinion about. I told you even like I texted the guys from TeckWrap, fuck, yeah, this is super amazing, and I was really happy. I even texted Charles, Maciej, man, this works like it's like so easy to apply. I was really happy about the product. It gives you a lot of confidence to do great things with it, and it has many advantages over vinyl. So yeah, you see, like this is a new thing, and obviously we had some parts. You have to apply it differently from vinyl. To say it will be a little bit different. So we still learn about this. Probably in 5 years they will launch something else.
Yeah, exactly.
And this industry is still advancing. Just look back like 15 years ago, or 20 years ago, what vinyl we had 20 years ago and what vinyl we have today. Maybe in 10 years from now will be some other technology. and we're gonna do different things. So you're still learning about it.
Yeah, I see a lot this type of attitude when people just think that they're rapping for 10, 15, 12 years and they think they know all. And they just don't want to learn something new because they think they know all. But like you said before, like products change all the time, technology change, everything is updated.
Let me get you something just to specify something about this, because I had I saw this issue with some other guys. So it's not about how many years of experience you have. This has nothing to do with how good you are. I met people with 3, 4, 5 years of experience. They're much better than guys with 20 years of experience, because that guy in 5 years done 1,000 cars, just to say, and that guy in 25 years done 200 cars, and maybe the 200 cars they were normal cars, and that guy who done 1,000 cars, they done like Lambos and Ferraris and like hard cars
with different products.
So he has more knowledge than the other guy with 25 years. We had this actually this situation in Madrid. I went to see one time a customer. I was like maybe, I don't know, 30 years old. So I went to see him. I say, that guy was focusing on other brands, not the TeckWrap. So I just introduced myself. I say, if you want to buy our vinyl, he said, I explained a little bit about the vinyl. He said, no, I try to give some advices to him. If you're gonna use it, do it this way, apply it like this. And the guy's like, how old are you? I'm like 30. Man, I have like 30 years experience. What you gonna teach me and stuff like that. But if you look at his job, they're horrible. That is the perfect example of people, they think they know everything, but in reality, they don't know much. Because you have to be humble and just take advices. I still take advices from people. As I mentioned, like if I start to wrap a bumper from a certain place and some other guy starts from a different place, doesn't mean it's wrong. Everybody adapts to his own style of wrapping.
Yes.
What it matters is the end result.
Yeah.
If end result is good, it doesn't matter how you start, how you wrap it.
Yeah. So as I understood correctly, like from your own side, the most important thing to be a good rapper is to be open-minded.
Yeah, of course.
And like always be able to learning, to listening, and like be ready to changing something because everything is changing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also about the Wrap Campus, like what do you think what is the most common mistake that people do when they start rapping?
Stretching.
Stretching.
Yeah. They don't know how to stretch, how much they need to stretch, why we stretch it. It's very important why we need to relax the vinyl before we do any cutting. About post heating, also like they doing like some other wrong things, like they heat and push to stretch in the same place, so they create overstretch. They don't know how to stretch it correctly without fading or getting glue lines. Then they don't understand why we need to stretch a bumper and how much stretch we need depending on what shape has the bumper. So they don't know where to start from. They always start from the easiest part and then they go into hard part and they will completely lost. So they understand you need to start from the hard part and go towards the easier one. So these are actually the things I'm explaining here: where to start, how to do it, how to stretch it, how to avoid glue lines, how to avoid fading, where you need how to post heat, which is a very important step. We had this training today, like advanced. I asked the guys, are you okay to do mirrors? Yes, I don't have any issues, so it's okay. I will show you my way, just to have another option.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you need to change. If something works for you, just carry on doing it your way. But it's good to know another option, another way.
Yes.
You only need to change something which you have problems, where you have problems. But also it's good to know a different option of installation for other parts. Maybe you're struggling in doing a bumper. Then I show you my way of doing the bumper. Say, oh, it's actually easier. I'll try to do your way. Yeah, so these are the things we try to do here at Wrap Campus. Also for beginners, like we had people like they never hold a squeegee on their hand. And as you saw, like we managed to do the full car.
Yeah, so it's possible that you can start from zero, from scratch, and just in the 2-3 days you can just learning the basic stuff.
Yeah, of course. The most important is just to show them how to measure the panels, how to cut correctly, how much excess they need, where they need to start from, how to do the corners, how to do the cutting, the finishing, how to squeegee perfectly. Because also it depends on the angle you have on the squeegee. You can create a lot of wrinkles, or it can be like easy to squeegee. It depends. So we're actually showing all these.
After these years of trainings to other people, what does you enjoy the most about teaching somebody?
Like seeing them after years, like they actually achieve
the progress.
Yes, I still am in contact with I remember I told you one time my first guy I ever trained, he was from Poland. So I trained him, actually my first trainee, and I'm happy with still talking with Mariusz, and he's gone very well since. He had like a very great attention to detail. He liked to do things like slowly, don't rush it, and do an amazing job. So he's doing great.
Yeah. So now I think you have students around the world. So I think it's amazing feeling that you have friends everywhere.
Yeah, I still speak to the guys. Sometimes they text me, all the time I'm giving my WhatsApp number. Sometimes if they have like a struggle, especially at the beginning, George, I need to do this car. Where should I start? I give them advices. So training doesn't finish with me the day you leave from here. We still get in touch.
Yeah. So after training, you just become George's friend.
Yes,
And
exactly.
then, as a friend, you have access to his number, and then you can ask about some stuff, and he will always help you.
Yeah,
So it's
of
important,
course.
yeah, because you're caring about people.
Man, I wish,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had this opportunity when I was young
Yeah.
to learn from someone, but because I had to learn just by myself, probably doing a lot of mistakes. You actually learning from mistakes.
Yeah.
Next time you don't do it and try it differently. But it was obviously for them, it's like a big thing. You learn from somebody who explain you from A to Z everything. How I started from by myself, like testing actually.
Okay. Also, I wanted to ask you last one question about the projects, because for sure you did like thousands of cars and hundreds of different projects like boats and jets and everything. What do you remember the most, and which projects you are the most proud of?
I don't know, maybe both, because it was like really bad state, like really bad. Just looking at it, like, man, this is like looking so bad. And then we managed to do it like, I think like a month. We completely changed the look. Everybody was looking at it. There's actually videos on YouTube. I found people from the shore taking videos of the boat.
There is maybe anything left on the world that you still think about to wrap?
Man, we've done like some crazy things.
Yeah, I know. Like you once showed me that even you wrap some secret projects, yeah, for government even. So
Yeah, we've done like also in UK. We've wrapped some. One time we wrapped two boats. We're not allowed to bring the phones in. We wrapped two speedboats and in matte black, and then we found out like the boats in the James Bond movie. It's like we didn't know at the time. It was So sometimes you can do crazy things. I think in terms of car, maybe just like wrap some crazy old car, maybe like limited editions.
So George, thank you for this quick interview, and I'm glad we meet and that you share with us your time.
Thank you,
Okay,
Bartosz. Dobre.
thank you.
See you guys soon.